Okay, so a certain award ceremony was held at Tepa, which is in the Ashanti region. This award ceremony was mainly focused on the education improvement in the area. There have been a lot of works done to improve upon education and just the general well-being of the youth and also those who are into forwardness in that part of the Ashanti region. And after their works were done, this ceremony was held to honor them. So the Asantehene, as well as others, were honored in this event. Now, they were honored for their contribution to education, not only in the Ashanti region, but also in the nation, Ghana as a whole. Others who were also honored were the Otumfo Oseitu the second. He was also honored, the paramount chief of Tepa. He was also honored. Then Nana Eduse Achenowa Ampem, the first. He was also added. There were other people who were also honored, whose names we cannot all mention. This award event is actually an annual award, and it was organized by some Divine Key Believers Network in Ghana. They work in collaboration with this outreach group in UK, the Prince Hampel World Outreach in the United Kingdom, from the based in the United Kingdom too. So they and the local council of Tepa and the churches around there, come together to do these ceremonies just to give them those individuals who have distinguished themselves to the socio-economic development some rewards and to help them to do their best to make the area a good place to be at. Now the education minister was also honored. He was also honored for his works. He is also he has also played a key role to the development of education in the area. There were some people who were wondering what the next level was going to be like, from the award ceremony. But then we think even at this level of them getting awards alone is good. It shows that they have been recognized for the works they are doing. Sometimes it's education that changes a whole lot in the places that we live and in these areas. Sometimes some people are not fortunate to get the education that others got. It's not because necessarily they are not better like we are, or they are not as good as we are, just because they are found in uncomfortable situations. There are people who are very brilliant, and I mean very brilliant, who are way smarter than some of these bookworms who are in the schools, but they are not given an opportunity to go to schools to have the right education, and it's painful. Sometimes you just take a general look at some of the most elaborate, these big fancy businesses, events, restaurants and the like. You notice how some of them who own these places don't even have a degree, but they had that intelligence and wisdom from God to set up businesses and run them, and they are the ones who employ those of you who are getting these diplomas, masters and whatever degrees on whatever they call all those things that people go to school for, those papers. Yeah. So when you look at those people who are not getting these chances, and then by the helps of such people, education is improved upon, and then some of these people can get access to such education, it's a good thing for them to be honored. Now they were commended, the Asantehene, for his lead role in the development of education in the whole Ashanti region and even in the country in general. Also the Tepahene for his vision to continue to push development of education in the area. Other chiefs were also called on, to emulate this example, doing their part to help the government instead of, leaving everything for the government alone. This is one of the things we've been focusing on, even as a news agency, that things shouldn't be always said that it's because the government is not doing it, or it's because the government is not playing their part. The government can do what they do, but we also have a role to play. Even we are the government. If you think about it, we are all the government. We don't have to be in power to be the government. And government is for the nation, and we are the nation. So if government is for the nation, then we are the government, if you think about it. So Those of us who have a role to play can play it, and we shouldn't just do it for these awards. The award schemes are good, but when we lose focus on the reason why we are doing it, then the whole aim of getting it done will not even function properly. Because you should know that we have better rewards apart from these plaques and these pictures and all these things that are given to such people at these award ceremonies. There are bigger awards that we will receive not only in the world to come but also in our life here, right? There are things you do that lead to another blessing that you don't even see. You get it? There are people you help that you may not know, but tomorrow will be of great help to you. It's how it works. The world goes round, and then you meet some of the things you did in the past staring at you in the face. And if it's a bad thing, you'll be very, very, very displeased about what you yourself have done. But if it's a good thing, you'll be so glad and satisfied that you know that you're on the right path and you are doing, the things which all those of us who believe in God, the Almighty, has appointed us to do. That we are on our right path. There's a need for us to look at some of our predecessors and look at how they are doing things. Then take key from how to also do the same and or even better. Yeah, sometimes you have to gauge high so that if you fall, you don't fall too short. But when you don't raise your bar that high and you gauge and you don't hit that mark, then you'll be doing nothing at all. So it's sometimes good to aim higher than them. Not that you want to compete with them in doing good or in giving education to people, but in doing better and in making sure you don't fall off. So for those of you who are true indeed to help, the nation and those people who have not been fortunate enough to get such education, please do it because it's the right thing to do and not because you'll be getting these awards for it. Even when you look at how the so-called pandemic has affected many, you see that education had to be stabilized in places where it was already shaky. Yeah, so this is a very good thing. The whole of those who came up to together to organize this thing have done their names again are the Divine Key Believers Network. Yeah, those in Ghana here, and as well as those they work with the UK group, the Prince Hampel World Outreach. Yeah, and the churches, the local council and all those who are in the Tepa area and those who put a hand to do this. Now, they were also glad to, honor, one Nana Edu say Achara Ampem the first because he was seen as a hero for all his works that was done. So yeah, their names were mentioned and then they were given these plaques and all these incentives. There were these things that had these citations on them with their pictures on it and the writings on how good they were, their works, their contributions and all. It was beautiful. But as it was beautiful, we want to remember, do not lose focus on the main aim of doing this. It is not for awards, neither is it for you to get the applause of men. Remember, what you are doing today will come to you tomorrow. You just have to make sure you are in the good place. There are things that you don't necessarily have to wait for someone to tell you to do it before you do it. Just have the natural feeling, this instinct to move in a certain direction. There are some times where you'll be doing this and you may face a lot of problems. Sometimes you may face even opposition for trying to do the right thing, for trying to continue to push education, for trying to do your best to ensure that it is well with those who are coming up. It is well with those who have not been privileged enough like you get it. Think about it. If we all were privileged, who would be who in the nation? Who would look up to who in the nation? And who would even plan on doing something? You get it? So if you know you are in a place where you have received more favor or grace compared to another person, you should remember that it's not limited to you. You don't get the things you've been blessed with just to consume it. No. When you are good, you think of the next person. When you have been blessed to a certain point, you think of the next man who should also benefit. There are even those who don't even wait to get that blessing to a point before they start helping, and there are many of these people around. Also, there are some people who continue to work at just being helpful because that's who they are. I've known some people who have not been doing it, not necessarily because they are good. I'm not saying they are not good, but they just have this nature of helping and improving the lives of others. And I was amazed when I saw the extent to which they were. There are some who lose sleep over this just to make sure things are working out for other people. There are people who, sacrifice a lot in our countries. Today, we are seeing people like the Asantehene. We are seeing people like, these big names. We are seeing all these people who, have been blessed to govern a certain position in the nation. Look at the Otunfo Saitutu the second and all these people, the paramount chief of Tepa. They are people who have been blessed, but they have not let it, been restricted to a point where the blessing ends on them. Not at all. They are establishing the blessings in another person's life and in other areas where their help will be of great value. So when you have been blessed, when you have reached this type of places and positions, look for the next person to help. And some of you have the next person to help right by you. There are people who find it hard to help because they are always looking outside. They want to find an orphanage somewhere, or an orphan, or a beggar at the next city, but you can help the people right around you. Sometimes some of you, the people you have to help are your own family members. There are people in your family who may not be very kind to you, may not be the type you'll be fond of, but there are still a way you can be of help to them. You don't have to like somebody to help the person. And when you are giving, you have to give unconditionally. You have to think of the fact that you are not put in the place you are because of who you are necessarily. It's not because you are a certain boss, or because you are a certain person's son, or a certain person's daughter, or the person who found oils in Ghana. You get what I'm saying, right? You don't have to be that person to be honored. You are just that person in quotes to get what you have to get to give to others. Yeah, so that is it. When you look around, you can find someone to help. Maybe it could be a neighbor. Maybe there's a neighbor next door, just a couple houses away from your house, and this neighbor may need your help. You don't have to be friendly with the person, and get close, but you just find a way to help the person. And yeah, you could be even discreet about it, just let the person know, yo, you are willing to help, or find a way to help the person to another person. Oh, I'd like for you to help this person and that person. I'd like for you to pay his school fees. I'd like to just find a way to do something that wouldn't look like you're trying to merit an award for it. And we are sure you'll be on the right path for a long time. Those of us who would benefit from these types of help will give you a blessing. We don't even have to know you. The moment we open our mouths and say, oh Lord, thank you for this help, we are indirectly saying that the blessings that come from receiving this help should go to you. We may not mention your name, but by saying thank you Lord, God will be pleased that you are grateful. The person is grateful and will in turn bless you for this thing that you've done and you are doing. Yeah. Now, for those of you who haven't been to the Ashanti region, it's a lovely place. You should try it. You should go to Kumasi. You should go to all these places where there are things of tradition still placed there. There are places where you see some of these stories you've heard about, which occurred in the 60s, in the 70s, with those elements still kept today. It's beautiful. And know that it's not every place that is blessed to have some schooling facilities, some resources close to them. So that is it. For those of you who may know these dignitaries in person, you can also applaud their actions by maybe sending them a hi, a hello, a congrats or something. Yeah, just also let them feel that they are doing the right thing by commending their actions and urging them on to continue to do things the right way. Alright, thank you for listening. Have a nice day. Bye.